Good afternoon. I want to thank everybody for coming. We're going to go a little out of order today because we're going to hold off on the election board meeting. We're waiting for someone else to arrive. No. Yeah, no. So we'll start with our salary board and start with a pledge of the flag and moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And we'll start off, Mayor Rose, with the salary board.
Okay.
I'd like to call the meeting to order.
Chairman Schock announced that today's salary board was duly advertised in local newspaper. And at this time, is there any public input on agenda items only? Hearing none, we'll move on. A motion is needed to approve and dispense with the reading of the minutes of the July 5th, 2016 salary board meeting.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second on the question. All in favor, state aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
A motion is needed to increase the hours for the Video Information Technology Coordinator from 66 hours to 75 hours, with an increase from the starting rate of $20,000 to $23,000 annually.
Okay. Is there a motion? Okay. Motion made. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion made and seconded. On the question?
Yeah, can I just talk about a little bit? Two things happened here. Number one, we increased the hours from 66 to 75 hours. And the other reason also, I met with Kevin and we talked about how the videoing of the cases are going to increase once we get the new prison done. And we felt we needed to make sure we got someone on who could handle that. So we also, besides increasing the hours, hopefully this will take away from some of our cost of transportation if we can do a lot of the video recording through the courts from the new prison once it's finished in the courtroom. Judge?
If I could just add to that, the individual being hired, Alicia had been doing that job at Northwestern for the past 12 years now. Because of the experience with exactly what we do.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Is there any more on the question?
I have a comment. My comment is simply that I would like to be able to have a budget and stick to the budget. And I recognize that there's going to be a lot of changes, particularly with the new site for the prison, and a lot more need for more hours and certainly more employees, and I understand that. Certainly we have ample time to make these considerations at the next budget discussions. The commissioners put 3 intensive weeks in to develop our budget. We met with each and every department. We asked them extensive list of questions. We relied upon that, and we created and we voted in agreement for that budget. I can't support this at this time for that reason. In addition, out of respect to the Human Services Department, who have put forth numerous requests where the county dollars would only be 20% of their overall request, similar to this one, in cost, they were denied even the ability to be put forth for a vote. And that is impacting our ability to keep people. It is impacting morale in a negative way, and it is impacting the type of quality of people that we have. So in fairness, I think that when we look at things, we need to look at them countywide, not one department at a time, and we need to prioritize our human services. So that's my comment.
Okay. And just to clarify one thing, Your Honor, this is budget neutral for the court's budget, correct? Okay, thank you. Any other comment?
Say who it is. The name of the person getting the job.
They're not hiring someone new. It's increasing hours, I think, right? And yeah. Yeah.
Positions currently open. We interviewed and this Monday. The name is Alicia, and the last name is. That's okay. Okay. Just call down and see. Okay. Just
No further comments. We'll put it to a vote. It should be a roll call vote, including the courts.
President Judge Taylor,
Yes.
Controller Grayson,
Yes.
Commissioner Best,
No.
Commissioner Chickatano.
Yes.
Chairman Shaw.
Yes. Motion passes.
Old business. Hearing no old business, we move on to new business.
Yeah, I have something for new business. And maybe Commissioner Best alluded to this. I've been mulling this over for a few weeks now, and Gail Whitley has applied and was promoted to Director of Social Services in the agency, and I have investigated a little bit, and the state has sent us some correspondence, and I'm going to make a motion today at the board here today, the salary board, to increase her salary by $2,000
I'll second the motion.
because she was promoted, given more responsibility, and because also most of that, I think, except for $400, is reimbursable. So I would like to make that motion.
And second. I'll second it. That's correct, yes. Yep. There's been a motion made and seconded. Is there any comment on the question?
I have a comment. I appreciate that motion, and I'm very much in favor of that, particularly because of probation. The director of probation, when he received a promotion, received compensation to go along with that, and I also voted in favor of that. We certainly can't have people given promotions with increased responsibility and absolutely zero compensation for that, and it is $400.
And, I'd just like to say, I know Sam and I have had numerous conversations, and Mary Rose, I know, has talked to him, and myself quite a bit about it. I think that it's something that we really need to do. I think that when the change was first, when the promotion was first made, part of the issue here is that we were bumping up against the caps that were established by the prior board with that overall compensation plan. And the thought was that we wanted to address that on an overall basis, because it really does need to be done overall. That's something that's going to take time, and I'm glad that we're addressing this now in the interim, though, until we get to that, because that's something that's going to take time if you want to do it right. But in the meantime, we are going to have situations like this that come up. So, is there any further comment on the question? Okay, we'll take a roll call vote.
Controller Grayson,
Yes.
Commissioner Best,
Yes.
Commissioner Chickatano.
Yes.
Chairman Shaw.
Yes, motion passes.
Any public input?
I'd just like to say thank you as the administrator for something, and thank you for the interaction.
You're welcome. Okay.
Recess.
No further public input. We'll recess to the call of the chair. Do we have everybody we need for the other?
I'm looking.
We're not sure.
Are we good?
Alicia, is everybody? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we don't need to do the pledge or nothing.
No, we've done.
Okay, call the order the meeting of the Board of Elections. First thing I'd like to...
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'd like to have Jim Bullock. He has something to say. He's the judge of elections in the Milton Borough.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to share. As the judge of election in the first ward, it gives me great pleasure to be able to do this. In 1965, a British pop duo called Peter and Gordon did a tune called Know You Is to Love You. And that depicts my co-worker, Frances Powell. Frances Powell, gotta love her. She's a hard-working church worker. She's probably done everything in the Episcopal Church except preach a sermon. As each election draws nigh, and we're at the polls, she's our historian. Because since the 1972
have a proclamation here to give to Francis. Let me read this first. Francis Prowlant is a longtime poll worker who is 92 years of age. And on this proclamation, it says, her dedicated service has gone for 46 years. Francis has been working the polls in the First Ward, Milton, since 1970. I was in high school in 1970. The Board of Elections would like to honor Francis for her long and dedicated service to the First Ward in Milton. I want to go down and maybe
Yeah.
Pictures.
Francis, you have anything you want to say?
Everything you want to say?
Are you going to be working the polls this November?
We don't know. One more for me. Thank you.
Oh, and we lose half the room.
That's no good. That's no good.
Okay, ready? Ready.
Wait till they get. Where are we at now with this Board of Elections? Okay. Okay.
Okay. Any public input on agenda items only? Hearing none, a motion is needed to approve and dispense with the reading of the minutes of the May 3rd, 2016 Election Board meeting.
Okay, do I have a motion
I'll make the motion.
Second?
on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
A motion is needed authorizing the Election Board to ratify the signing of the following reports on behalf of the election office as listed on your agenda.
Do I have a motion
I'll make the motion.
Second?
on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
The general election will be held Tuesday, November 8th. Any old business to report?
Alicia, anything? No?
Any new business to discuss? Any public input?
Okay, then recess, call order to the chair.
Okay. We'll now call to order our regular meeting of the County Commissioners.
Any citizens' input for agenda items only? Hearing none, we'll move on. A motion is needed to approve and dispense with the reading of the Commissioners' public meeting minutes of Tuesday, July 5th, 2016.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
A motion made and second on the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
A motion is needed to pay all county and liquid fuel payrolls as submitted by the Human Resource Office for payroll number 14 in the amount of $658,340.12, and payroll number 15 in the amount of $644,293.71.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, motion made and second on the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motions need to pay all county and liquid fuel bills as submitted by the county controller in the amount of $5,100,129.32 from July 2nd, 2016 to July 29th, 2016.
Motion, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
On the question? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A work session will be held on Tuesday, August 16th, 2016, beginning at 10 a.m. in the Commissioners' Conference Room. The next regular public meeting will be held Tuesday, September 6, 2016, at 1 p.m. in the public meeting room at the Administration Building. The Northumberland County Courthouse Administration Center and related county facilities will be closed on Monday, September 5th, 2016, in observance of the Labor Day holiday. A motion is needed for the Commissioners to sign the state tax equalization voucher form for transfers of real estate for the month of June 2016 as submitted by the Assessment Office.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
On the question? All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the employee status sheet list of new hires, individuals no longer employed, promotions, demotions, and transfers as items listed 1 through 16.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
On the question? All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries.
Motions need to authorize the signatures of the proper official for the Northumberland County Hazardous Material Emergency Response Preparedness Report for calendar year 2015 as submitted by the Public Safety Department.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
On the question? All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Now recognize the Controller for a report of the following requests for proposals opening.
We received 2 RFPs for the security services at the new prison site. One from RMP of Milton, PA. Second from Securitas Security Services USA Incorporated of Muncie, PA. Secondly, we received 2 RFPs for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning services on behalf of the Weatherization Department. One from Pappy Blue and Sons of Fulton, PA. Second from LTS Plumbing and Heating, Backsides, PA.
A motion is needed to award the request for proposals for security services at the new prison site to RMP Security Company Incorporated Milton at a quote of $2,304 weekly for 128 hours of coverage.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a
Second.
Okay, motion made and second on the question. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motions need to award the request for proposals for HICVAC subcontractors for weatherization to LTS Plumbing and Pappy Beluda and Sons as recommended by the Weatherization Coordinator, Dwayne Chickatano.
Make the motion?
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
On the question? All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to ratify the purchase of a 2016 F-250 XL 4x4 pickup truck with snowplow from Sunbury Motor Company at a cost of $34,677 through the Co-STARS program as requested by Behavioral Health and Intellectual Developmental Disability Services.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll second. On the question?
I'm, just as I do, it seems every month when we purchase 1 or 2 vehicles, going to comment that despite the fact this isn't direct county funds, it comes through the state funds. We've spent tremendous amount of time trying to encourage our department heads that you don't need to overspend to keep money on your county budget. I think it sends the wrong message when we as their leaders are doing the same thing with state funds. So I'm going to vote no.
I just again would like to comment, Carmine, if we do not use this money to purchase this vehicle, what happens to the money?
The money would go back.
Goes back to the state, and we basically just lose it, correct?
We won't get it.
Right, okay, thank you.
And that's the same problem we run into with our department heads at budget time for county funds as well. It's the same mentality.
But the mentality here is that if we don't purchase it, we lose that money, somebody else is going to get it, Kim. Whoever it is, I understand where you're coming from
Right.
in departments where it's our money, the county money. But in this case, I still think because it's funds that we would lose, that it's okay to do this.
I think Carmen, I mean, this is a vehicle that you need over there, correct? You use it for your,
We're going to be using it, we move 15 to 20 people yearly and more. Plus, we also will put it as part of our rotation, so it just makes sense to get a vehicle. Plus, we got a plow that was purchased by all the agencies, human services.
And Carmen, you understand I wouldn't deny you of a vehicle. It's how we would get the vehicle. It would still be through CoStars. It would just be that the county would have a contract, as the majority of counties and even the state now does, for their vehicles. You understand? Thank you.
any further comment on the question? Okay. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Okay, one opposed, motion carries.
Motions need to extend the hours for resolution R number 157-15, purchase and service agreement with Pat Miller from 250 to 350 hours, as previously adopted at the public meeting of December 22nd, 2015, as requested by Prothonotary Justin Dunkelberger.
Okay, we may have an issue on the word. Oh, on the next, okay. 115. Okay. All right, so there being nothing wrong with the motion as stated on 14, is there a motion?
So moved.
Okay. Is
Second.
it- Motion made second on the question. Okay, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Industrial Development Authority.
He resigned.
He was on
from-
both, but I think
He,
Joe Panzarella did, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we do, yeah, yep. Yeah, okay. Go ahead. Mary.
Motion is need to appoint Bruce Smith to the Industrial Development Authority Board to fill the vacancy created by the resignation of Joe Panzarella, who resigned effective June 1st, 2016, with a term ending December 31st, 2018.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, motion made second on the question. I'd just like to say that, I think Bruce will be a very good addition to our IDA. He is the head of the Central Pennsylvania Chamber of Commerce. I think that, it will help create some of the linkages that we need to that upper end that perhaps in years past have been lacking on some of our authorities. So happy to see that he agreed to serve on this. And we thank him. Okay, all in favor, state aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to ratify the advertisement for the following as listed on your agenda.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All on the question? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to ratify the chief clerk's signature for a hold harmless indemnification agreement in exchange for permitting the county's maintenance department to use of Craco Electric's bucket truck for changing light bulbs at the Career Link.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, on the question?
Frank,
All-
you
oh.
reviewed that?
Now, what happened is Craco is allowing us free to use their bucket truck. So and they asked that we just indemnify them.
Right.
So I drafted it.
Yeah. Okay. Any further comment? Okay, all in favor, state aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motions need to accept the financial funds expended for improved adult probation services for the period of July 1, 2015 through June 30, 2016, as requested by Adult Probation Chief Tim Heitzman.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Motion made in second on the question. All in favor? Oh,
Wait,
okay.
was this review, you reviewed that then? Who does? Mr. Grayson, do you review that? They just submit it? And then who reviews that? You don't know?
Motion is accepted.
Yeah.
To the state?
Mhm.
Okay.
Is that,
It
yeah,
is.
is that something that, do they have a review, I guess, with the courts within there, like their financial persons reviewing, or should that be coming to you in the past, or in the future? Is that,
Is anybody from probation here? No. I just.
Yeah.
think the issue is
Mhm. Funds expended and approved adult permission. Yeah. Do we have any idea, like, when that needs to be? Do we want to, I don't want to hold up something that needs to get submitted by the state by a certain deadline or anything, but maybe what we could do is do it contingent, oh, okay. Is
I mean, it's
do it
just in-
contingent upon, if you'd be so kind as our controller to review it and just, I guess, see if there's anything and maybe contact whoever compiled the report on the court side. Okay.
So it was done.
Okay, so it's being signed. Okay.
Yeah.
That's Chris, okay. 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 This one, I don't know, I'm sure if you're, this one looks like it was signed off on by your department, so I mean, it must have gone through at some point.
I know I do sign off on one of them. It's an annual, they have to submit it.
Okay.
I didn't know if that was the same.
If it was the same one, this one, it looks like you did review inside, so maybe there might be another, I mean, we can check and see, make sure that any of them that come over are going through your department to be reviewed, I think, but it looks like in this case, he did, so he just didn't know that that was the one he was.
Yeah, I'm going to abstain.
Okay. All right, so it was actually reviewed by your department and signed off on, is that, okay,
That one was.
that one, yeah,
I didn't know if that was the same report.
okay. Yeah, so apparently that is the one. So with that in mind, I guess if there's any, is there any other comment? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye,
I'm going to abstain from that.
and one abstention. Okay, motion carries.
A motion is needed to authorize the chairman to sign a letter of agreement with Caring Communities and Northumberland County Human Services for referrals of appropriate individuals for medical and related services to certain individuals.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, motion made second on the question. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to adopt our number 52-16, lease agreement between Northumberland County and Gannon Associates for office space at the Northumberland County Career and Arts Center, previously tabled at the public meeting of June 7, 2016.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second on the question. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the following reports as listed on your agenda.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, motion made second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the following honorary letters. Wedding anniversaries, Mr. and Mrs. Glenn A. Flieger, Sr., Milton, 30th wedding anniversary. Mr. and Mrs. Commissioner and Mrs. Samuel J. Chickatano, Cole Township, 40th wedding anniversary. Mr. and Mrs. Jack Cuso, Coltmont, 50th wedding anniversary. Mr. and Mrs. John T. Fogarty, Sunbury, 50th wedding anniversary. And Mr. and Mrs. Stanley Russell, Watsontown, 60th wedding anniversary. And YMCA Advocacy Week is August 1st through the 5th of 2016. A little round of applause for...
Okay, yeah.
I would just like to say, God bless the wives of those 5 guys.
Well, I was going to present this to you since you're sitting right there, although I feel like I really should present it to Kathy. For 40 years.
Very
But
good.
there's your
Thank you.
proclamation signed by
Thanks.
all.
Do you want pictures?
You want a picture?
Do you want a picture?
You know, I think I was in high school when that started, too. No, I wasn't.
Want a picture that you can take back? We'll get one when we're done, maybe. Okay, all right. That's right, yeah, yes. All right, so if there's nothing further on the question, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motions need to authorize the travel requests and attendance at the following workshops, seminars,
Okay.
as
I'm
in
sorry.
accordance with the county's personnel manual, travel reimbursement policy, as listed on the agenda.
Okay, hold it.
Oh, there's
Oh, there was no, okay.
That's
I
not
got
a
carried
motion.
away.
Oh, I
Oh,
did-
we didn't do the first, oh, okay.
I spoke too soon. I
You
didn't
should,
wait
you
for
should
the-
make the motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, and second, yes, there you go, okay,
So
so
that
now
was
we'll
4
vote,
hours.
okay.
Now
So,
to the next
all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, now that we caught up, a motion is needed
I
authorizing
was caught
travel.
up in the romance of the situation, I lost my head and I lost my way on. That's right.
A motion is needed authorizing travel requests and attendance at the following workshop seminars in accordance with the county's personnel manual travel reimbursement policy as listed on your agenda.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made in second, all in favor, or on the question? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next we'll move on to the solicitor's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Motion to adopt Resolution R75-16, resolution of the Northumberland County Commissioners supporting the East Central Pennsylvania Regional Task Force Incident Management Team to promote and protect the health, safety, and welfare of emergency responders, public officials, and the general public from actual potential natural or man-made disasters existing in Northumberland County, neighboring counties, and the Commonwealth.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made in second on the question. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R76-16, bid award agreement between the Northumberland County Commissioners and RMP Security Company Incorporated for security services at the new prison site, 2000 Northwest Academy Drive, Cole Township. This is ratification.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made in second on the question. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R77-16, contract renewal and amendment between the Board of Commissioners on behalf of the Weatherization Department and CMC Energy Services Incorporated to assist in the delivery of services through the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Weatherization Assistance for the Low-Income Persons Program.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded on the question. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R78-16, inmate housing agreement between the Board of Commissioners on behalf of the Northumberland County Prison Board and Columbia County for obtaining space for housing of Northumberland County inmates. This is ratification.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded on the question. All in favor, state aye.
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 I
Any-
believe that it went down from
That's correct.
100
Mhm.
a day to 72, 70-something a day.
Motion to adopt Resolution R79-16, grant agreement between the Northumberland County Commissioners on behalf of the Department of Public Safety and the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency, PEMA, for state fiscal year 2016-2017 for the Radiation Emergency Response Fund, RERF.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded on the question. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R80-16, grant agreement between the Board of Commissioners on behalf of the Department of Public Safety and Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency and East Central Pennsylvania Counterterrorism Task Force for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security for fiscal year 2015 State Homeland Security Grant Program.
Is there a motion
So moved.
Second.
on the question? All in favor, state aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R81-16, contract agreement between the Northumberland County Board of Commissioners and Basco Associates, PC, doing business as Buckhart Horn Architects for architectural services related to the new prison project in the Township of Cole, contingent upon a waiver of any and all rights to remuneration, compensation, fees, or penalties under the previous AIA document B101-2007 standard form of agreement between owner and architect between Basco Associates, PC, doing business as Buckhart Horn Architects, dated June 2nd, 2016, related to the proposed prison project in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and further contingent upon the solicitor's approval of the language pertaining to the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and evaluation language.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll second. On the question?
I just want to comment. I mean, obviously, I've been very public about why I did not support the relocation choice to Northwestern. So my vote will be according to that. But I wanted to publicly say that I enjoy doing business with, and I find them to be very professional, this team. They have undergone numerous change requests. They've always been accommodating. They've always shown up when we want to. My vote against this has nothing to do with them as a company. They're an outstanding company, and it's been a pleasure to work with them. I just cannot vote with my conscience for the reasons that I stated in my press conference, which is the cost, the delay, and the operating costs that are my concern.
I would also like to state that the new contract that we negotiated with is much, much better than the contract that was given with Buchard Horn on the old prison side. And it's a lot in our advantage as far as the county, and we also have a waiver in there that they will not be able to come back on any proceeds from the previous contract for ending the project. So that was all included in that.
And I want to add that he's being modest, but the reason that we had that benefit is because Commissioner Chickatano worked tirelessly to get it that way. So I want to congratulate him on that.
If there's no further comment, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Me.
One opposed. Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R82-16, Professional and Administrative Services Agreement between the Northumberland County Commissioners on behalf of the Planning Department and CEDACOG for services pertaining to the Community Services Block Grant. I think it's supposed to be Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, for federal fiscal year 2015.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R83-16, Subgrantee Agreement between the Commissioners of Northumberland County on behalf of the Planning Department and Ralph Township Contract Number C0000611159, granting a total of $57,771.11 from the Federal Fiscal Year 2013 Community Development Block Grant funding for stormwater channel embankment upgrades and floodplain relief.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R84-16, resolution of the Northumberland County Commissioners in Ralph Township for the destruction of certain tax records recovered from the estate of the late Charlene Ziegler, tax collector.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R85-16, bid award agreement between the Northumberland County Commissioners on behalf of the Weatherization Department and Pappy Beluta and Sons Plumbing and Heating to provide HVAC services to weatherization clients.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R86-16, bid award agreement between the Northumberland County Commissioners on behalf of the Weatherization Department and LTS Plumbing to provide HVAC services to weatherization clients.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R87-16, Commissioners' Budget Amendments as listed.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Second. Motion to adopt Resolution R88-16, Agreements, Amendments, Revisions, Grants, Leases, and Reports between the Northumberland County Commissioners on behalf of the Human, Senior, and Social Services and the named service providers as listed, numbers 1 through 45. The above agreements, amendments, revisions, grants, leases, and reports are not with county employees, nor does their organizational contract list county employees as the principals in their corporation or on their board of directors, with the exception of number 4, in that Shakina Lee is currently an employee of Northumberland County.
Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, is there any old business come before the board? Seeing none, is there any new business come before the board?
Yes, I'd like to speak. there was an article in the paper, the Daily Item, Justin, but that was only on the internet, that article about the prison?
The one that ran Sunday, no, that was in Sunday's.
Oh, was it in Sundays? I'd never seen it. Okay, I apologize for not seeing it. But the new $31.2 million county prison projection 218, I just want to go over, because I did talk to Justin this morning, and the figures that Justin came up with are correct, and they're actually from a paper that I developed, but it does not take into account the 31, it's actually 31,161,000. But it doesn't take into account the cost, or mentioning in the article, the cost that we have in the Celotex property right now, which is 4.6 million, which if we do sell that, and I don't know if we will, would take away from that 31.2 million that he reported. My only thing is when I did this, I developed it with all the contingencies at the highest amount, the construction cost at the highest amount, because I wanted to be fair when we did it. So I will not dispute that the actual cost might be 31.2 million. But if we do sell the Celotex property, it will be much less. And if we don't extend to the highest amounts of our construction cost and the contingencies and soft costs, that will also be less. But the thing I'd like to point out, and I know Justin and the Daily Item will do this, is by looking at that, it doesn't look that good. But if you compare it to what the cost, at the time I did explain, the cost of the Celotex site, which with the same kind of contingencies and things in, the cost was at $42,668,000 without the addition of the extra cells that the judge and the prison board wanted. And at that time, when we suspended the project back in February or wherever, the cost was somewhere around $45 million for the project that was going to be built down here. If anybody wants to see these figures, you can come to my office and I'll show them to you. I know Justin and Daily Item will also put an article out saying that the cost of the Celotex property would have been around $45 million, which still gives us a $14 million savings if those figures come to be right, along with interest that we would have had to pay on the extra $14 million, which is about $5 to $7 million, which now gives us somewhere between $18 and $20 million savings. Sometimes when you read one article and you don't know the whole story, you don't understand what's happening. And that's what happened in this case. But I know Justin will straighten this out and have an article, I guess it was on the front page, explaining the cost of the Celotex property. Because I know the Daily Item is a fair paper and that they will do that. If anybody wants to have any information on this, you can come back to my office and I'll let you know the figures on the Celotex property. Okay? That's all I have to say.
Well, I have a follow-up comment. We were told that the Celotex project was going to cost that enormous number, and then we did have several meetings where that number was in dispute. The issue is this cost, the $31.5 million, also does not include the increased insurance for 12 buildings and the increase in maintenance, security, and personnel. It also did not include the delay in time, and that is what really concerns me at this moment. And I know that Commissioner Shikatano will do everything in his power to keep the number down. Obviously, we all will. We're all in favor of that. But what concerns me is how we're going to stretch this out until 2018 at nearly $400,000 a month. And the long-term operating costs of a facility this size. And I really hope, and I'm encouraging the majority, and I certainly would work very hard to assist with them, reaching out to other counties to make this more of a regional project. Because to sustain something of this size and this undertaking, I mean, it doesn't take a genius or a mathematician to realize that the size of this project is enormous. So I'm saying that I hope we continue to work on that, and I'm sure that he is. But I'm saying it's the way that you look at the numbers and who you're listening to. And we won't know how much it costs until it's built. until it's finished. And then we can look at the number.
And the numbers, though, Commissioner, is not 400,000 we're paying. I think Mr. Grayson will contest to this. That's the amount we're paying, but that's not the amount we are paying that we wouldn't be paying if we already had our own prison. Even if the prison was in the one that burned down, I think our costs are more around 130,000 extra per month. Is that right, Chris?
It's more than that.
Came up with 25 extra dollars a head per day.
Well, I had it figured out on figures before. But it's not, is it $400,000 a month we're paying extra?
It's $400,000 a month that we're paying in boarding costs.
Correct.
But everybody needs to understand, we would have had boarding costs and overhead related to our own prison, so.
About 180 to 250
No, that's not right.
when we had our own prison. You can look at the figures.
Well, we figured the figures. It's $58 a person times the 208 that we had. What is that, Chris?
It was a different, and I think currently it's around $86 cost. When we figure out, because we need to also figure in the cost per inmate
but
per
that's-
day of our wages and
All right.
benefits are all
Right.
added in that number. So when we're looking at boarding costs that we're receiving from Cole Township of $60 a day, or another county of $70 a day, we also have to factor in our cost per head of our staff that are out there in the long run.
Yeah. All right. And that's, you don't need to do anymore. That's beyond that. We're going to go forward. I already have people looking into renting buildings up there for different kinds of programs that I'm going to be meeting in the next few weeks. Besides the financial gain that I think there is, and I attended again all these forums that we had on drugs, and I heard mothers say we need things where we need to rehabilitate these kids, and there's a lot of them, and I was a school teacher and I know a lot of these kids. We might be able to do those programs even before we get any inmates up at Northwestern. I still think in the long run, besides the money savings that we're going to have, we're going to help some of these young guys that are getting out of high school that have drug problems to rehabilitate and hopefully not end up reading their names in the paper and have successful lives. That's where I am on it, and we don't need any more. Chris.
You're looking at about $150,000 more per month. If you take 25 extra dollars per inmate, 200 inmates a day,
So
30 days in a month, up to 150,000.
that's a lot different than 400,000.
We would have been paying to house our inmates and the overhead that was involved when we had our prison.
And to be clear, when I said 400,000, I didn't say addition. The 400,000 that we've seen, it's been over 400,000, it's been less than 400,000. The average isn't 400,000 a month, but we see it growing every month. And to be sure, that is an expense that our general fund didn't anticipate before a fire. And I'm not trying to say that you aren't trying your very best to mitigate all these funds. But when I gave my press conference, I said, this is not 21.5, it's more like 31.5, and you can look at my words, and I was told, Commissioner Best doesn't know what she's talking about. These are the wrong numbers. So now today we're saying, these are the numbers.
Commissioner Best, these are the numbers I put out when I had my press conference. You could have got them from anybody that you wanted to get, okay? These are the numbers that we got when I met with people that are involved in the project. We'll eventually figure out where the numbers are going to be when this whole thing is done. But if you remember, back in February when the project was suspended, and you're talking about more time to build it, Northwestern wasn't even in our thoughts. You wanted to suspend the project because it was up to $45 million. You wanted to cancel all the cell buildings and everything, which would have prolonged this whole process a longer time anyway, even if Northwestern would have never been
Had we canceled the things when I advised that we canceled them, we wouldn't be facing litigation right now and costs for supplies.
Actually, that's incorrect.
That is absolutely correct.
Well, it isn't, and the emails will bear that out.
You don't
in
need
terms of when you're
emails. You just look at the
notified. Well,
invoices
they come in handy.
from January to April when we canceled, and you just total them up.
Yeah.
That's it. It's that easy.
We did not even go out and take a look at the Northwestern site
True.
until January 29th. And so there was no decisions being made about whether or not we were going to go there until towards the end of February.
That's
as I
also
recall,
true.
so.
But what we were told by our project managers, if you have any doubt that this project is not going to be built at the Celotex site, suspend it now. That's what we were told. I'm not saying that we knew we were going to Northwestern. I'm saying that we all had very serious doubt about going to Celotex
And we suspended those that we
In April.
were able to suspend.
in April.
Okay, is there any further new business? Any public input? Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn. We're adjourned.